Well, hey everyone, it's Kat Lindell, and you're watching the MyStore show. Now, if you haven't been to mystore.com, I need you to get online right now. MyStore.com is dedicated to American businesses, American entrepreneurs, and American manufacturers. You can show your support just by going to MyStore.com, do all of your household and online shopping right there, and support these incredible businesses. Now, today, I'm joined with Heather and Mike of LuxBlox. Thank you guys for joining me.
Hi, Kat.
Hi,
Thank you.
Kat. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we've gotten the opportunity to do this a few times, and it's always such a joy to talk to you guys and even, find out more and more about LuxBlox and how it all, started and got going for you. So that's kind of where I want to start. Is I know that your kids have been a huge part of the inspiration for this entire business venture that you guys have taken on. So go ahead and give me the rundown of how it got started and where you are now.
Sure, absolutely. Well, we've always been interested in education. Both Michael and I have an education background. Michael taught in Chicago public schools, and I'm very close to having a teaching certificate, but I've done a lot of training. And so we were a homeschool family, and we were really interested in how kids learn. And we came across the story of the man who invented kindergarten, Friedrich Freudel, and he also invented these blocks that really formed the minds of some geniuses that we're all familiar with, like Einstein and Buckminster Fuller. So we just were inspired. We thought so much about how kids learn. We love the idea of learning while you're playing. And we wanted to create a block that would inspire kids today in the same tradition of the man who founded the kindergarten.
All right. Now, in front of me right here, I have this one, which is the steam primer. And this is just really, really cool. And when I put it together, I had so much fun. And then reflecting on it, I kind of realized just how much of it was critical thinking skills. So well done in disguising that learning by play. My son, who's 5, got to help as well. So this one right here is the scorpion in snow camouflage. So you get those cool, black, gray, white, and then the wheels have that rubber tread on it. And then with the primer here, you have, it's almost like a tank, and it actually works. So what
Mhm.
we're talking about here is form and function, and it's disguised in play. So can you tell me a little bit about getting started? I know it was the small 3D printer right when they started coming out. So tell us
Go
about
ahead.
that.
Well, what we wanted to do was we wanted to make a block that it would imitate nature at we call the principled level. Like we think about the Three Little Pigs. We're taught as kids that the smartest pig was the pig with the bricks, right? That he made the strongest house. But all of our high performance things, like our rockets and our cars, even our bicycles, anything that's got performance to it, never uses bricks. They usually use materials in tension. So they use like a sheet metal for rockets, for instance, or airplanes, where they have a sheet that looks like it has no structure at all. But the minute you fold it, you have corrugation, you have very strong structure. So we wanted to make a block that would enable kids to put something, snap it together. It would make a hinged kind of fabric. But the minute the kid folded it, they could make a structure, or they could make it a fabric that they could wear like armor. So it's a very immediate, high performance engineering material that's available to children. And that's what we wanted. And the invention was actually that snapping hinge. Okay.
So to answer your question about how we developed it, because it did take quite a while to get to this point. This was about 3.5 years with a 3D printer. Was one of the beta launch maker bots. We were having to constantly rebuild it, but it was really a group effort. So I was working in HR and insurance, and I would come home from work and I would try the different pieces and how they connected. We had all of our children, their friends, members of our homeschool community, and they would just give us tons of feedback. So we really approached it very methodically, very slowly, and intentionally. And just to comment a little bit on the wheels that you mentioned, we're a little unique from other construction toys because we really want to have a small inventory of parts that can make a maximum diversity of design. So as you mentioned, our wheels, they have that rubber tread on them when we're using them as wheels, but if they don't have that they can also be used as gears
And pulleys.
and pulleys.
Yeah.
I'm wondering now, are you two the first entrepreneurs or business owners in your family, or is this a generational thing?
No, my family had a nurse home, a convalescent home when I was growing up as a kid. So my mom was the administrator. My dad built it and owned it. And it was in our backyard, a 74-bed nursing home. So when we said the word home in our house, it meant the nursing home in the backyard. So I grew up with entrepreneurs as a little kid.
And my parents were the classic. My father was a policeman, retired as a police chief, and my mom was a nurse. My father, however, was also a builder. He was trained as a carpenter. And so in those days, many of the policemen that I grew up looking up to, they would build garages on the weekends or pour cement. So very handy. And I think both Michael and I were inspired to some extent by our fathers always building.
Yep.
Well, and it sounds like you have an excellent message for your children as well to keep that kind of generational entrepreneurship going. So congratulations to you on that. Now, I wanted to know, what has been the absolute biggest challenge as an entrepreneur and your own business owner?
Well, I think it's always getting the word out. This is such a large country. There is a lot of innovation, and there's so much, especially with social media today, so much media, so many messages come across. It's very difficult to sometimes be heard in the midst of all the products and all the advertisements. So I'm very grateful to you for the opportunity to share on a personal level more about our journey and our product.
So do you want to take us through a week in the life of the LuxBlox team?
Oh my goodness.
Well, it's a family team. So our newest member of our team is our new daughter-in-law, Ines. She's Portuguese, and even though English is her second language, she spearheaded a whole new website rebuild and marketing platform program, and she's amazing. So that was a great boom for our family for Luke to be smart enough to marry her.
Yes, absolutely. And he's a teacher. Luke's a teacher. He gives us feedback. Our youngest son is also working with us on social media, doing posts for us. But every week is really different. As you can imagine, we're gearing up for our busiest time of the year with Christmas, just around the corner. But we still have an education presence. So we have the products that you're featuring there that are more directed towards individuals and families. But we also sell classroom sets because, as you can imagine, there's so many things you can explore from the STEM disciplines utilizing LuxBlox for hands-on learning. So Michael will often go to educational conferences, and in fact, he has one coming up next week. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, and our biggest thing is when people look at our stuff is it's this feature here. It's the fact that we move. So it imitates that kind of kinetic thing that's in our own design, and that's what really intrigues people, the fact that kids can make something that acts like nature, that inflates and does the things that our own hinge systems do in our body. That's really
I
exciting.
love the colors on that particular model too.
Yes,
That is so bright and
this
fun, and I can see how it's just so engaging.
it is.
Now, I remember there was a Fox News story that we were talking about last time. Would you go ahead and share that one again?
Well, Heather had gotten a phone call from a Made in America Manufacturing Association that we had gone to their show in Indianapolis a few years back. And Fox News is in communication with them all the time when they want to do a story about manufacturing in the USA. And that was during the logistics problem we had with China, and they called Heather up. And what did they say to you?
Well, they really wanted to feature toy companies that make their product in the United States, and there really aren't very many. So they said, "Hey, could you get here pretty quickly?" And Michael took a lot of Red Bull and rented a van, and he drove out there without any sleep and set up right
Yeah,
there.
we're in Galesburg, Illinois, so it's quite a drive to get to Manhattan to the Avenue of the Americas there, right in front of Fox Studios there, and they wanted a full booth with our 14-foot tall Empire State Building built out of LuxBlox, and Pete Hegseth, our new Secretary of Defense, was interviewing me, and he was fantastic. He was supposed to talk to me about logistics, and I said, "So I've been studying up on logistics." He goes, "Oh, I don't want you to talk about that. Talk about LuxBlox." He was so chill, and he helped. He was like a better salesman than I was. He was great.
Yeah, it was
Well,
really
that's
great.
incredible. That's the kind of stories that we love to share over here at MyStore. So if you are watching, thank you for your time and attention to these LuxBlox. Everybody can get enjoyment out of playing with these. This one, like I said, is the Steam Primer, and this one is the Scorpion in the snow camouflage. There's all different colors, all different shapes and different functions and different ideas, and you can combine them. You can get more than one and add them all together. Go crazy with it. When you go to mystore.com, use your promo code and save. we have an excellent partnership with LuxBlox. So when you use that promo code, you get an exclusive discount at mystore.com. Now, Heather and Mike, I got to say thank you so much for sharing your story with us again. And I can't wait to talk to you again soon.
But we
Thank
appreciate you
you.
too. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Kat.